Hello, welcome back to video 4 with this music box. I think we're according to plan, should be video 4 out of 6. Today we're gonna take a little bit later. Today, for this video, I would like to let's update some of the keys so that we kind of lock off the function. So for instance, you don't want to show or enable play next song when we are at the last song, and we don't want to play previous song at the first song. That can kind of break the animations and the system. And also we have E for like enabling play the first song, but after that it doesn't work or it isn't used, so it should be disabled as well. So let's have a look at that and start. Gonna finish here, and we're gonna go straight into our music box blueprint. So the first thing we can do is when we press R, we can use a branch node. You remember to make decisions. There we are, hello computer, really ready to work. So we can use this branch node to check if R is enabled, and if it's not, then do nothing, but if it is, continue as usual. So I'll use this UI, and from there I will check if it is enabled. Sorry about that. It looks like I'm getting a little ahead of myself, because we need to, of course, first make the systems to control the visibilities of the interface of our key R. So if you remember our widget, go in R, if you scroll down to visibility, you can choose different options, but we can bind it like the color and to a function. So here, create binding, and I don't like the name get visibility 0. It doesn't really tell me what to do, so I'll put in UI R visibility. That should tell me a lot more of what I need. So if you remember, the first we have two return nodes, but we don't want different results. I'll copy, Control C, Control V, get a different return node. I'll put this top up to visible, and I'll put this one down to hidden. And then from the RUI visibility, I'm going to use a branch node. There we are. Because I want to make a decision, and I want to make a decision on is E pressed, which is going to kind of like, so I'm going to get it, I want to read it. I'm going to use this to kind of to measure if the user has activated the music box, so to say. The first thing that they will be prompted to press is E. So I want to check if they have done that. There we go. And if they, there we go. So if they have done that, let me see, we don't have, you can see we track if different things are pressed. I'm going to make a new one, a new variable called is enabled R, because I want to track if it's enabled. And I'm gonna want to set it. So if they have pressed E, that it's true. Set R to yes, and then turn visible. That's the shortest route. And then I'm going to say, have they pressed E from false? I'm going to do another branch. I'm going to do another decision before we end up invisible. And I'm going to check for this is enabled R. I can't remember if I told you, but I like to ask for these Boolean variables that can only be true or false. I like to ask it kind of like a question. to keep track of what true or false would actually mean, because sometimes it gets a little translated, get a little convoluted. So here I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna read it, and I said if this is true, then you become visible as well, like this. If it's false, you become hidden. So to check if the UI so R should be visible first, have the pressed E, yes, then it's enabled, set it to enabled and go. Have they not pressed E, but it's still enabled, it's kind of like a way to remember this state being enabled. So they have enabled R, then it's true, make it visible. If not, they haven't. This should return hidden when they haven't enabled the music box at all. I hope this makes sense. So while we're here in the music box, oh yes, compile, save, always. We can go back to the signer and we can do the same for T. So under visibility, you can make a binding. We don't want to create it to the we don't want to bind it to the R, so we'll make a new one. There we go. Let's call it UI T visibility, and this return node is hidden. Sorry, of course it's visible. This one we duplicate and make it hidden. It's the exact same setup, just with T. So start with a branch, and then we want to make a new boolean. We call is enabled T. We want to set it to yes. Now T is enabled. You are visible. Another branch. True. There. False. Hidden. And is enabled T. We want to get it. There we go. Save. Compile and save. Now we want to do the same for E, but yeah, so let's get the visibility, visible bind, create binding. UI E visibility. But if E is the first button, it kind of starts the whole thing. So it's gonna be a little less complicated. It's only gonna be a single branch. From true to false. And are we tracking if E is enabled? I don't think we're tracking any enabled. Yes, it's all pressed. Cool. So we'll need one more. Is enabled E. Very much so. Get it. Base the decision on that. There we go. Remember to compile and save. And now I should be able to go back in my music box. Oh, yeah, my music box, blueprint. And now I should be able to get is enabled R. Yes. I would like to. No, I don't want to set it. I want to read it. Get is enabled R. Thank you. And I want to put this in to this branch. There we go. Just a little safety precaution. So when you press R, we check if it's enabled, and if it is, we just continue as usual. If it's not, let's see, can we do, so, there we go, nice and clear. If so, again, if false, do nothing. If true, continue as usual. Compile and save. So the next thing I would like to do is we will make a system that makes sure that if we are on the last song and we press play previous, that things don't break. So that means here, if you remember where we add one to the song playing integer, we would like a little check, a little safety check, security, what you want to call it. We want to control that we aren't just adding one, that we're not going over the boundaries of the songs we have. You want to check for it. So here with song playing, we are gonna do a greater or equal. So we're gonna check if the song playing integer is greater or equal to 5, because that would mean that is the limit. You remember we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how programmers count. So if that would have been 5, we are gonna have to do we're gonna have to stop it from selecting. So we're gonna use a select integer node, where we can set B come from our song playing, and A you can see will be a locked limit, and it will be 4. That will be the top amount. And here it says pick A, so we return this value true if A is greater than or equal, then pick A. So and of course then we need to continue this into here, where we then add one to our song playing. Can I move this a little bit? I don't like it when it's too squished. So to go over this again, song playing, and if this song is greater or equal to 5, pick A, which would be 4. So any number that's above 4 will return a 4. So otherwise it'll pick B. So if it's 2, it'll pick B, which is 2, so it'll pass B on. It will add the 1, because with R we're pressing next, so we want to add 1 to our song playing ID integer. I hope this makes sense. But that is what this system look like. At least the one I came up with. So we should just go ahead and test this. It was too soon, because compile and save. Otherwise it would have updated. So let's test if when I reach the last song, can request another song or a song with a higher number. Looks like something spoke. We'll look at that later. Let's press E. Then we'll press R. We're just going through the songs. This is record 2, 0, 1, 2. It's all working nicely. And here's the last one. Let's see if I can select the next one. I can start the animation. That's okay, but doesn't select any other. So should be working. Okay, so the reason that wasn't as smooth as hoped for is that here after, let's move this a little bit more. After we measure is R pressed, I would actually like to disable R, so I would take the, see if I can get it from here. If I can set is enabled R. Yes. And I would set it to off, and then back to stop the music. That way, when we press R, check if it's enabled, then we're gonna turn it off while all these things happens, all the animation plays. And we start to play the song. And then here, just before the song event play, I want to do a little check again to see what song we are on, and then have R react depending on that. So I want to make a branch node because I want the music box to make a decision based on some input. So I want to take this song playing, I want to get it, I want to read it, and then I want to check, get an equal. Let's look like this, and I want to put this to 4, because again that is our limit. So if the song playing is equal to 4, there we go. If that is not the case, remember we put a system so that we can't go above 4, but or we put it to 5. So we're just checking if this is the last song, then we don't want to turn R back on again. So let me get the music box UI, and I want to get is enabled R. I want to set it. So if the song is not equal to 4, is not equal to the last one, then there must be a next song, and I want to turn R on again, and then we can start playing the song. And if it's true, then don't enable I. I hope this wasn't too confusing. So check if the song is the last song. If it is, just play the song, because here in the beginning we disabled I. So once you pressed it, we disable it. Then we go through the song selection thing with the built-in security for the ceiling, and then we check here and say, hey, is there another song? Then we enable R. That will also mean that while all this is happening with the animations, you can press R but not break it. At least that's the idea. Let's compile and save and see if that's the case. So I press E, then I press R, and you can see while this is loading, I can press R all I want. It doesn't break. And the next one, you see how R is enabled, turned visible. So I can click it once, and then I can click it 1,000 times if I'm fast enough. It doesn't break it. Now the system is ready for the next input, and hopefully it'll work. So it's not being enabled now. Look, it's not enabled. I can press R. That's what I'm doing. Nothing happens. Cool, it worked. Let's continue. So for T, it's going to be more or less the same. Of course, T works the other way around, where we don't want to play the previous song if we are on the first song or song 0. But we're going to start. Oh, we have this note. Haha. So I can use that. But we're going to start with get is enabled T. And when you press T, we don't want to do a branch, because we want to make decision just like we did with R. Just want to check if it's enabled. We're supposed to move. So there, if true, continue as usual. If not, do nothing, basically. Okay, so stick with me here. It's going to be a bit, but I hope it's not too complicated. It's nothing new we haven't seen before. We just need to make sure its setup's correct. So after our isEnable T, this is where the T image, the image of the T becomes fully lit again, because it's no longer pressed. We want to do another branch node, because we start to make some decisions. And we want to make a decision based on the song playing. So I want to get it, and I want to do an equal. I want to say if the song playing is equal to 4, there we go. If that is true, let's get my music block UI. Get, and I want to set is enabled T, just like before, or just like we did with I. So if the song playing is equal to 4, that can't be right. Not yet anyway. Equal to 1, because you know if there's a 1, then there's no previous song. So if that is true, then don't want to enable T. And we're going to do, and if it's false, we're going to keep T enabled. There we go. And we then want to do something more. So after this, I'm going to do another branch node. There we go. And this should go in our branch as well, because I now want to see if the song playing, if I could spell equal, if the song playing equals to 4, then I want to go there where you belong. Then I want to disable I, so I want to set is enabled I. So if the song is equal to 4 in our condition for the branch, if that is true, then don't enable I. There we go. And if it's false, enable I. So as you can see, it's making first decision based on the song playing, and then second decision based on, and by the nature of it, as you can see, the song playing can never be 1 or 4 at the same time. So one of these two things is going to happen, never both, sometimes none of them. And this is the system that I come up with to make sure that when you are at the last song, there's no more play next, no more R, and then you're at the first song, there's no more play previous, play T. I hope this makes sense. So let's hit compile and save. Come on, compile, turn green, thank you, and save, and let's test it. We need to do something more before it works. So let's return to to R to make sure, because here when I disabled R, I should also disable T. So set is enabled T. I'll turn them both off, and then we will do a similar system to check the song playing, just to make sure that it should be turned on again. So we do that over here after this delayed note here, I believe, yes, where we we selected music box animation. Yeah, so we're already doing this branch here. If song playing equals 4, then enable R. But regardless of that, we want to turn T back on again. So I want to set is enabled T. I want to make it yes. And you should go in there as well. Come on. No. No. Just select the dot. Thank you. And then we go to the play song event. Let's compile and save and see if that works. And then we need to make the same sort of decision down here for T. So once we play through it all and we get to the select, that's not right. Yeah, I think that's right. So after we have this select record animation, we just need to make another decision based on the song. So branch, there we go, and I want to get the song playing, and I want equal, and if the song playing equals to 0, the very first song, so there should be any play previous, as you can imagine. So if that is true, go there. False, let me get my UI, get, and I want to set is enabled T. So if that is false, turn it on, because T should be disabled previously. Right? If I check on, so if the song is 0, continue without turning on T, without enabling T, because T should have been disabled somewhere here, I guess, based on this song. So hopefully it'll work now. Let's compile and save and see if it works. Okay, this UI keeps throwing me off because it's not quite working, so I can't really see what is going on, what is working. So I thought we'll update that now. So here when we create UI, we cast a blueprint, first person, we enable input, we create the MusicBot widgets, and we set MusicBot here, it's where we get the copy, and then we add. Then we need to make some decisions based on the state of the music box. So after here I want a branch, and I want to track if they have started the music box before. Hash started music box. Really crude description, but it worked. So let me get that. So if that is true, let's start with false. If they haven't started the music box before, just do as normal. But if it's true, then we need to check some things. So I want another add to viewpoint, because this is the oh, I need to get this from here. Add to viewpoint, because this is the node that creates our UI. So if false, do not do the same, and if here add the viewpoint, but now we can start making some change this. And the first we want to do is I want to, from the UI, so let me get that, I want to set is enabled E. Turn it off. That way, if they have started the music box, don't show E at all, because that is the start button of the whole thing. And then I want to make a decision based on the song played. I want equal. This might seem familiar to you. It's good if it does. Equal to 4, because I'm going to use this for another branch. That's the condition. So, if the song playing is equal to 4, I want to have the music block UI get then I want to set is enabled R. So if, and you come from there, this is your target. So if true, the song play 4 is R, then there will be no next, so don't enable it. If it's false, then there will be a next one to go here, and it'll be enabled. So that takes care of R. Then we'll do another branch. No matter the result, you both continue the same path. And have another condition where the song playing equal to 0, just like that. And then we want to pretty much do the same, but with E. So set, sorry, T is enable T. Copy that note, but the target don't copy. That's okay. If the song is equal to 0, that means it's the first song. Don't enable T. But if it's false, you can enable T. Compile and save. Okay, I got something. Something we forgot. So let's go inside the music widget, and if you see, click on T, click on the visibility. This is why it's been not functioning quite correct. It is connected to the UIT visibility, so I can go to graph and show UIT visibility, but if you noticed, the first branch is just set to default true. It doesn't make any decision, and that's why it's just always on. So is R pressed, we want to get that and use that as the condition. That was the whole idea. So we don't enable T until we can until they pressed R. So until they've chosen the next song, there's no point in choosing a previous song, and that is why it hasn't been working well. So compile and save, and we can go here. That's already compiled and saved. So if we click play, we walk up. There we go. Let's add the text to the images, just so we are all in the clear. So if you go under music widget, go under designer, these texts should follow these images. So play previous song, its visibility, Just a sec. It's under behavior. There it is. Visibility. So this should just be binded to the T visibility. This should be bound to the R visibility, and this should be bound to the E visibility. Compile and save. There we go. Now they won't be left up. And another mistake that I made is when I created the boolean is enabled E, I didn't make sure that its default value is enabled. And that's what we want, because E is the start button. So we want to make sure that E is by default enabled, and then we can turn it off from there. So this should do it. If we test, we go up and we should just see the E. Ain't that nice? And if we press E, then R comes and the music plays, and we press R, they come back. And we press T, and I can press T all I want, doesn't break, and T is gone. This is what we wanted. And if I go all the way to the end by pressing R, so we're almost there. We all just want to make sure that once we have enabled E, we're gonna hide it again, because it's only pressed once. So let's see, make it all the way to the last one. There's no R. I can press R, but there is T, and I can press T to go back. Okay, we're almost there. Hang on. It's gonna work. Don't worry. So let's finish with the interface, because I didn't quite test it before, as in when you remember when we walk away, this is what happens. It gets deleted, but the state isn't saved, and I want to do that. I want to make sure we when we come back and you're playing the last song or the first song, that you can't press any keys you're not supposed to. So let's just see. After we enable the event, we call, we disable the input. Then before we do any of this, we want to make a decision. We want to make a branch. And we're going to use the has started music box. I want to get it. Because if the player just walks up to the music box and then walks away, hasn't started it, we can delete everything, and that is pretty much what this does. So if they walk up and it's false, they have not started the music box, do this, delete everything. Don't do it if it's true. If it's true, we want to go to the UI, and we want to, come on, computer's getting tired. We're almost there. Set is enabled R. So this is if it's true that they have turned it on, then we want to disable the R. Hope this is readable to you. You want to set is enabled T. Want to turn it off, and in this way, so we're actually not deleting the interface, but we are hiding the keys. So let's test if that's compile and save, if that is what happens. So you see I walk up, you see the start, walk away, walk up, start again. But now I start. If I walk away, disappeared. But when I walk up, there should have been an I. That was kind of what I wanted. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, I see it. It's getting late and I'm starting to make errors. But that is, of course, because we haven't done anything to the has started music box boolean yet. So when people press E, we are going to do a branch. There you go. And we're gonna check if they have started the music box. We use that as condition. And if it's true, then do nothing. So go away. But if it's false, if they have not started music box, then do business as usual. But start by registering the choice. So now we'll get has started music box set on. So false goes there, this goes to set. So now we can track, now we are tracking if they started the music box. Yeah, okay, so so R works, but we probably want to hide E once we start it, because as I said, E is a one-time use. So since E is a one-time use, let's extend this a little bit further. So press E, check if they have started the music box, then make sure that is registered, turn on and off the can I just have these four, thank you, and then move them a bit. And then here, going to disable E altogether, and then it will not be turned on again. So I'm gonna set this enabled E. Right, there we go. Compile and save, and then it does all its thing. Let's test it. Yeah, goes away. And we press R. This is fine that they both disappear. I'm gonna add a little something to that next video, but I think just want to go through it all, but I think we're done. And if I put the microphone down, you can hear me even better. So I'm thinking we're done. It's yeah. There we go. And if I walk away and walk up, only T is there, and it's working. And if yeah, and R comes back. Yeah, it's working just fine. They disappear, they work. Oh, I pressed R. I can press R, I can press T, I can press E, nothing breaks. So let's see if it works on the first record as well. Oh, there's no T. I'm pressing T, nothing's breaking. Okay, I think that's it for this video. It's a little bit messy, I'm sorry about that, but that's how it's been for me, developing, coming up with this, learning. So I hope you found it useful. We're gonna do some more things next time. We're gonna have like a loading screen, and I can't remember, but I have some notes about it. Sorry about it. It's a bit taxing on my head when we have to do these things, but it's nice and fun, and I hope you learn from it and enjoy it. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So thank you for today. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so bye bye.